You know, that's kinda hypnotic. Must obey the HypnoPanda. DFRobot sent over their latest SBC, the LattePanda IOTA. It's a drop-in replacement for the LattePanda V1. 8 gigs of RAM, Gigabit Ethernoodle, couple of USB, and a full-size HDMI. And a bonus lane of Gen 3 PCIe. We'll get to that in a moment, but first, take a look at this. That's an Intel 150 on the belly. Not ARM. That means it's not going to be picky about what OS you feed it. And there's already a gang of accessories, like an NVMe HAT, active cooler, power over Ethernet, a battery backup that somehow only works with Windows, and 4G LTE for pandas on the go. So instead of waving my hands over it and telling you to go out and buy it, I'm going to stick together a cool Panda NVMe starter kit, since that's what most people are going to order. Then rub some Linux on it, run some benchmarks, check out Jellyfin, and maybe a bit of gaming. Should be a fun adventure. Let's get to it. Alright, step 1 is going to be removing the covers from the thermal pads. One of them has prematurely migrated, but yeah, you get the idea. Time to plug in the fan. It's notched, so you can only plug it in the wrong way once. Here's the included processor lube, but I always make a mess with these, so it's time to break out the good stuff and just a little dab it, do you? Despite what the official instructions say? Yeah, just don't do that. Now it's time for a wee bit of squishing followed by bonus squishing. Pop it open and yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. So there's not much left to do other than secure the fan to the board using the included standoffs. This is where all of your mounting pressure is coming from, so make sure they're snug. Okay, so this adventure is going to begin with attaching the FPC cable. Flip up the latch on the board, copper contact side goes down, slide it in, no force required, and just close that latch. Now repeat the dance with the expansion board, keeping the contact side facing down. Now it's time to nope the 2 screws from step 1 and replace them with the hex standoff extension thingies. And again, make sure they're properly snug. Drop the expansion board on top, screw it in, and apply a healthy application of NVMe. And shout out to DFRobot for including bonus NVMe screws. Good on you. But that's it, and everything looks good. So let's see what happens when we stab it with a USB-C cable and apply the electrons. Did they ship me one with Windows 11 pre-installed? Oh, they did. Well, that does it. We're changing the name to interfacing Windows. Eventually, this is the opposite of a snappy boot process. Goodbye, Windows 11. Thanks for the dip. Oh, it did the thing. Oh, it is doing the thing. Oh, that's cute. I'm pulling the power. Just a quick peek at the BIOS and has everything you'd expect in a modern mini PC, including a screen rotation policy. Time to get some Linux on this Panda, and I'm going to go with M.2 2404 since it's listed under the supported operating systems. Time for a quick health check. Wi-Fi is detected and connected to the access point in the studio. Gigabit network appears to be gigabitting. Bluetooth eventually found my Xbox controller. Gonna call that a win. Plenty of resolutions to choose from the drop-down menu, and sound works on Linux, everyone. HDMI and analog out. Nice. And 3 power modes to choose from. Love to see it. Speaking of, underload the N150 tops out around 2.4 GHz all-core frequency, reaching about 78 C on the thermometer, while pulling just a little over 20 watts. Now that's going to drop to 4 watts at idle at 700 MHz, with the temps diving into the low 40s. NK disk mark shows sustained 300 MB reads and 200 MB writes on the built-in eMMC module, while the NVMe drive does less worse with 800 MB reads and 500 MB writes, limited by that single lane of Gen 3 PCI Express. And for those of you wondering if a quad-core x86 CPU can handle a 1080p YouTube video, yep. It can even handle 4K if you don't mind the occasional drop frame. You just gotta love proper hardware acceleration. And that's something we need to check with Jellyfin since transcoding isn't always a given. A direct stream of 4K 60 content is no sweat for the Panda IOTA, but what if we smash that down to 720p? That lights up the hardware encoder in the N150 and you know what, it's doing alright. transcoding the video just a little over real time at 90-ish frames per second. And no, it doesn't do AV1 encoding. Don't ask. It just doesn't. It's an N150. Deal with it. Alright, real quick, I want to see if the N150 handles PS3 emulation, and I'm kidding about the quick part. This took like 10 minutes, but it gets in game, and you know what, that looks like an intro video. You know what, I'm guessing this is a bit scuffed. I even tried the OpenGL render, but that only resulted in advanced speed wiggling. But what about Doom 2016? This is my modern day reverse Crysis. It should run on anything. Even with an Intel 150, I'm going to be shooting for 720p 30. Let's call it a cruel and unusual punishment. And you know what? The N150 almost pulls it off if you just overlook the Witcher 3 on Switch level fidelity. I mean, it gets points for running. Just even a little bit. And 2D games shouldn't be much of a challenge, at least that's what I thought, but the frame pacing was all over the place with the latest installment from Team Cherry. That is, until I enabled VSync and, alright, fine. The first recorded video evidence of VSync actually fixing something. For once. I keep saying Raspberry Pi should worry about affordable x86 project boards, like the Rosd X4. And now, the Panda IOTA. By the time you get one kitted out, they're around the same price and they're Intel. This is a mini PC with bonus expandability, maximum compatibility, and just a heroic amount of go fasterness. But it's not perfect. This active cooler, there's not much metal in it, and this housing, that's plastic. And to keep things cool, the fan jumps to 5,000 RPMs on the regular. And it's a bit shouty. Then we have the NVMe HAT connected over PCI Express Gen 3x1, which is going to limit you to 800 to 900 megabytes a second on a good day. Also, I'm still irked about the battery hat being Windows only. Really? But if you need an x86 project board with a gang of expandability, this is going to be hard to beat. I dig it, but I'd definitely go for the silent heatsink and a case that weren't included with the review kit. But it's still a bit of alright. Links to everything in the description, and let me know in the comments if there's anything you'd like me to try. Also, thanks to the patrons supporting the channel, plus all the cool kids leaving likes on the videos. Thank you guys so much. But that's gonna do it for this one. So I want you to get out there and make something awesome.